Madison, Wisconsin. Shortly after Mike Tressel was hired as Wisconsin's defense coordinator, he met with reporters and acknowledged challenge of trying to bring together elite between system that worked for Badgers under Jim Leonhard and new system he wanted to implement. Tressel realized that deciding how best to strike that balance would take several months, and perhaps more, until spring training. Definitely the defense here is what we've been able to recruit great players for. It has proven outstanding in the Big Ten Conference, Tressel said in January. So we're going to keep most of it. But we're also going to bring some of that, as you say 3-3-5, but I think it's a unique 3-3-5 that can give a slightly different look to people who aren't prepared for it. During Wisconsin's first spring practice on Saturday, several defensive calls emerged, reflecting what players under Leonhard were used to with the unit operating in a 2-4-5 pattern for most of day. But when the Badgers' second practice kicked off on Tuesday, it became clear that Tressel was ready to flex his defensive muscles and gradually implemented his system while continuing to play the players' strengths. Wisconsin has unveiled few intriguing looks that bring a variety of alignments and pressures on usually defensive-dominated day. Here are some key takeaways from Tuesday's open practice. Go further. What I learned about Wisconsin by watching Luke Fickell's fast-paced first workout. 3 Security looks dangerous. One of Wisconsin's strongest defensive position groups is security due to the experience of Travian Blaylock, Hunter Wohler, and Kamo'i Latu. Blaylock has made 25 career appearances and was in a starting position before his end-of-season ACL tear in his right knee last spring. Wohler, who started last season in the top 5, broke his left fibula, while Latu made 12 appearances. All 3 players were used simultaneously on Tuesday in a 3-safe defense involving 6 defenders, which could cause a lot of problems on offense. Latu made a great passing separation from quarterback Tanner Mordecai, breaking a tight final shot from Jack Eschenbach. Wohler was usually deployed at defensive depth, about 7 yards from ball, and displayed versatility, athleticism and instincts that made him a 4-star candidate in state in 2021 enlistment class. Wohler can play deep down the field, like when Mordecai defends an incomplete pass to Eschenbach. In skeleton exercises aimed at running back Braelon Allen in middle, he can play under the Mordecai pass, which he perfectly performs, in role of a thief. Mordecai did not see Wohler fall into box, and Wohler caught pass and returned it for a possible goal at crucial moment of day. Wohler also made a nice play that came to stop a run from Chez Mellusi, who was back in the backcourt. Leonhard regularly preached the value of versatility as defensive coordinator and used Wohler all over the field. According to Pro Football Focus, Wohler made 96 defensive snaps at line or inside the box last season and lined up on free safety or corner for 117 snaps. According to TruMedia, Wisconsin used 6 defenders on the field in 6.3% of their snaps last season, ranking 48th nationally. Under Tressel, Cincinnati used 6 defenders on 1.2% of their 86th place snapshots. The sheer number of options at your disposal make it difficult for an attack to distinguish which players are filling windows and which players are blitzing. This is a big reason why Cincinnati is ranked number 2 nationally in pass defense during the 2021 college football playoff season. More defensive tricks. Another interesting change from Tressel was its use of outer defenders. Rodas Johnson and Isaiah Mullens with James Thompson Jr. and Gio Paez won first-team defensive lineman snaps. Goetz was positioned in an upright position as the 3rd player on the line, while outside defender Darryl Peterson was more typical defender depth. Outside defender TJ Bollers was even used with the reserves in a 2-pointer like Goetz. Goetz is listed at 235 pounds, while Bollers has gained 17 pounds this season, reaching 268 pounds. This defense could allow him to better use his athleticism and strength to tackle fronts. Outsiders Jeff Petrowski and Caden Johnson, who trained with the second team on Saturday, did not participate in Tuesday's team drills. Wisconsin's number 1 defense continued to feature Mima Njongmeta and Jordan Turner as insiders. Alexander Smith and Ricardo Hallman played in the corner with Boston College transfer Jason Maitre. Several young corner players stood out on Tuesday as Wisconsin continued to build depth there, an encouraging sign. Redshirt freshman Avion Jones and Akuri lied, and real freshman Jonas Duclona. Jones selected quarterback Marshall Howe during one-on-one drills, which matched a wide receiver on the defensive back. Returning to full strength from his ACL injury, lied, still wearing a yellow non-contact jersey, provided an impressive interception to quarterback Miles Burkett during 7v7 drills. Lied jumped from behind to grab a pass for the receiver Cole Toenis on foot. Duclona, meanwhile, earned regular snaps with his second-team defense after playing some second- and third-team snaps on Saturday. Duclona busted a Braelon Allen pass for receiver Marcus Allen. Wisconsin's second-team defense included Bollers and freshman Jordan Mayer as the outer defender, while inner defenders were Jake Chaney and Tatum Grass. Jones and Duclona were in the corners and Amon Williams was working in the void. Preston Zachman and Austin Brown played it safe. Third-team defensive linemen were Kurt Neal and Tommy Brunner, and Cade McDonald also earned snaps. Brian Sanborn and Spencer Lytle were third-team home defenders. Neal, who was constrained by an ACL injury last spring, continues to make impressive strides. He produced a solid day and made a good move ahead to sack Locke. Offensive line coach Jack Eschenbach Jr. he said on Monday he would like to take a look at Cincinnati transfer Joe Huber as an option at the center. Eschenbach was true to his word as he rocked the second-team offensive line on Tuesday. In third-team attack, Dylan Barrett, who made sudden shots from center, moved Huber to center from right protection. J.P. Ben-Shael was promoted from third-team right guard to second-team right guard. The rest of second-team offensive line remained unchanged with Nolan Rucci left interception, Joe Brunner on left defense, and Trey Wedig right tackle. Brunner's physicality simply stands out. He knocked Paez down during an internal exercise. He also rolled Bicknell into the grass during practice Saturday, which offensive coordinator Phil Longo shared on his Twitter account. Wisconsin's first-team offensive line was same as Saturday: Jack Nelson left defense, Tanner Bortolini left guard, Jake Renfro in center, Michael Furtney right and Riley Malman right. Bicknell said on Monday that Huber and Wedig are in a great position to be part of the rotation, and Brunner is close as well. Go deep. Wisconsin's offensive line ready for fast-paced changes. Quarterback rotation. Nick Evers' decision to transfer from Oklahoma to Wisconsin in December helped kickstart a transfer portal effort that generated tremendous enthusiasm among the Badgers fan base. Evers showed off his quick release in 2 practice sessions and impressive arm strength in just a few shots. However, it hasn't been a major factor in the early quarterback race, as Wisconsin's 2 top quarterbacks remain Mordecai and Locke, who manage most of the training snapshots. Evers made a pretty deep pass during skeleton drills, linking redshirt freshman Tommy McIntosh with a defender about 40 yards below the left sideline. He gave a similarly nice shot to receiver Chris Brooks Jr. on Saturday. However, Evers was not among the quarterbacks who took pictures during Tuesday's team drills. Burkett and Howe even got reps with backups ahead of Evers. It's unclear why Evers didn't take more pictures, but it's still early as players try to grasp Longo's plan. Longo and the quarterbacks are scheduled to be presented to reporters on April 12. While the defense performed well on Tuesday, there were a handful of individual offensive plays that stood out. During the 1v1 drills, receiver Skylar Bell defeated Maitre with a physical double move, which caused the Maitre to stumble with a 40-yard pass from Mordecai. Receiver Keontez Lewis caught a 40-yard touchdown from Mordecai in 11v11 team drills, but seemed to be pushing Hallman for what could have possibly been an offensive pass interception. Bell, Lewis, and Shamir Dyke remained wide receivers in the first-team offense, but Wisconsin again used a range of pass-catching options, tight end, and back runs at the receiver. Second-team wide receivers were usually Will Pauling and Brooks and C.J. Williams in the slot. Oklahoma State transfer Bryson Green did not attend his second practice in a row. It will be interesting watch how often Badgers are willing to use an empty backcourt, given Wisconsin's desire ramp up the pace, make more passes, and destabilize defense under Longo. Wisconsin will still rely on Allen and Mellusi to carry the ball. But at one point on Tuesday, there were 5 players lining up as pass catchers between wide receivers, tight ends,